Billy, that's you? Billy, that's you?
First, I do care about the turtles, and I do not like straws because of that, sure.
I'm a straw. I love a good straw. I love sucking on shit. Not dicks or anything. Nothing
115 10.
Nothing homosexual.
1 3
That
2019.
makes sense.
Okay. That's
right.
gonna be in the opening video. Oh. Oh my god, bro. There is no one like you. You are...
But I'm gonna fuck around and make my whole fucking album distorted, and they gonna be like that boy edgy as fuck. Yeah, fuck. TCAP 803.
Coming heavy with the weight and feel. Wonder if the hoes in Jesus' handheld. Give a fuck how a man feel. Whole world at a standstill, stigmatized. Donald Trump, they will not criticize. Still question bomber like my nigga lied. White girls boosting so my dick can ride. Out here switching sides. Crossing ship to mind the window cause they living blind. And they soul not showing. I swear my flow how potent. How these hoes got open and you know Pop's joking. If he expect forgiveness, I'm one of your 7 victim hells free of heaven's prison. These are split decisions. And I think I give the misses, but I give the masses. My whole arm, there are no walls. I ain't kissing asses, the shit, and I don't starve. Don't starve. She ain't bars, the enemy, she won't call her. You didn't see her coming. People are screaming, running, baby, like babies. Why they didn't need enough to drive. Horsepower is speed punching. Smoking weed, I'm blunting. Notice these are stunning. Ain't me like Jesus functions. your knowledge. I got key consumption, Super Saiyan water. I eat the peanut butter. Fuck your family, they ugly. You can keep your cousin, most people puzzling. You want my time is about an hour and I need 100. I see your ship and see it sunken. Missing me, she keep on cutting. She a keeper, love a hot box, a beamer bucket. My demon, she seen a sucker. She bring me, need me, so fucking here for long haul. Press hold to God calls.
I accidentally didn't do the camera at the right cue, and now I'm very, very OCD upset about it.
I just realized that one of my headphones was on upside down.
Was it like that?
Yeah, but flipped around the other way.
That's not good.
So the R was upside down.
Kristen said Creighton. I said he is peeing. She said I'm sorry I couldn't resist. I'm drinking his Yoo-hoo. So shit on. Kristen got your Yoo-hoo.
No.
Asriel, what's up, brother? PogChamp, we love Charlie. I love you. Hey Marina, I love you. Hello Bree.
Bree.
Hi. Okay, now hi. Ads. Fuck ads. Ads.
Do we have
fuck 'em.
ads?
Twitch automatically gives ads to people, like randomly.
Damn.
Lacey, hey yo, low-key FYI, I have a little Shop of Horrors playing right now. It's important to me, but I'll listen to y'all too. Feed me Seymour. Well, we will try and supply you with sublime content.
I've never seen Little Shop of Horrors.
You've never seen Little Shop of Horrors? Oh, bro, it's awesome. Really?
No.
I
I've
saw the
seen
show when I was so
homages to it on Gravity Falls.
Are there homages to it?
Yeah, they have like they go into Stan's gift shop or whatever.
Oh, I thought you meant like there was an episode on it or something.
Well, no. Like
it's a very fun movie. Really fucked up, but really fun. I jumped in to say goodnight. I sleep now. Good night. We love you. Kayla, wait. I'm currently watching an ad, but hi. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Kevin.
No!
Welcome to the stream, Kevin.
Welcome to the stream, Kevin. Kevin is the same Kevin that you saw earlier, or that you...
What?
That was in Discord earlier in the day when you came.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, Creighton. That's him. That's Stubborn Foreskin. I have to be up super early.
Hey,
There
is
you
this
go.
yours? Because it's like half eaten.
No, that is Kayla's.
Okay.
I thought she finished it. I still don't have a Fall Guys win, Charlie. Well, you know.
Damn, Charlie, you were like, we won't get the crowd we normally get, and it's like
I
way
know,
more
it's just
people.
all of a sudden, everybody's fucking exploding.
They
in
love
here.
us.
I see why. They're all in a call. Like half of these people are in a call right now.
Yeah.
They're probably playing Fall Guys right now.
Oh.
The game is amazing. It's so addicting.
Do you want to hear a story?
I do want to hear the story. I'm so excited about it.
So
I don't know if I'm excited, but if I'm excited and this ends up being shitty, I don't know how I'm gonna feel because that means that all my friends have a shitty sense of storytelling, but like everyone seemed really psyched about this. So
no pressure.
So go ahead. He's been waiting to tell me this.
Before we got here, we were all at Waffle House because we all met
You
up.
did leave your food. Sorry, go ahead.
But before we met up at Waffle House, I picked up Adrian from work, and Joel met me at Food Lion. And we went off on our adventure because at first we thought we were going to go see our friend Austin, who just got out of surgery. But he was unavailable. So we're going to go see him.
Probably because he just got out of surgery.
No. I mean, he's been out for a while.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But he's just been getting visitors. But he had some... I don't know what he had to do today. He wasn't very specific. But we'll go see him another day. Anyways, so the other thing on the agenda today was to fix one of our viewers, Noelle's tire, because she said it was flat. We got to her house, right? And we pulled up into her driveway. And she was there. And we went out to her car. It's like a GMC Yukon. It's 2007. And we start looking at it. And the tire's like low, but it's not flat. So we're like, are you sure it's like, flat? And you just don't have to, she had it turned a certain way. So it looked like the way she had it sitting was flat.
Okay.
So anyways, it takes us like 2 hours to get the tire off. Because the jack that I had was like too low, so I had to use the jack for the truck that I have, because that one goes up higher and we could really get on it. We broke like 2 bricks trying to use the other jack, and we got the car up and we start taking the tire off and everything. We finally get it off, and like, by the way, like Joel and Adrian like were trying to crack because how to crack the nuts on these things on the tires. They were both like trying so hard to crack them, but they couldn't do it. And I was like, I took a break because I was just very tired. I had been like jacking up cars and unjacking them for just a lot of jacking going on for like 3 hours. And I watched Adrian and Joel struggle with this one nut, and I was like, "Come here, I got this," and I like busted it so fast, and like just pretty much
Busted that nut
Yeah, and then
so fast.
and then I let them screw them off. So then we get the wheel off, and Noel goes like, "We're like, what if we pump it back
Oh,
up?"
and there went the internet already.
I was like, "What if we pump it back up, so that way it has enough air in it." And like we can see if it's got a hole in it. We can get some soap and water and see if it actually has a hole in it, or because she doesn't drive this car, it's just been sitting for like about a month or so.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if we just like pump it up, see if it's got a hole in it, and if it doesn't have a hole in it, we'll just slap it back on. It's just been sitting for a while. It just went flat. And she was like, okay. So she's like, I got this shitty pump, but we can see if that'll work. Because we thought about taking it to a gas station. She whips out this fucking nice like small air pump that you just plug into your cigarette lighter, and like it's like, oh yeah, this is my air pump. It's not that nice. This thing had a sensor to tell you like how much air was in the tire. Had a way that you could preset it to fill it up the amount that you wanted to fill it up, and it was also a flashlight, and you could switch the measurements from PSI like pounds per square inch to was it like kilograms or something? It was something in the metric system, but we're Americans, so fuck that shit. And we start pumping it up, and we have to sit there for a while. So we're like, just sitting there around talking around the tire. We finally get pumped up, and we roll it into like her little garage area. And we just like her spray thing with the soap thing wouldn't work, so I just unscrewed it and just poured it all over the tire. And like nothing bubbled up at first, and we were like, okay, I guess it's fine. So we roll outside, and as we're setting it up to like get ready to put it on, bubbles just start spewing out of like the little, like, I don't know how you put like the lip of the rim that connects with the tire. Yeah. And I was like, Noel, like this tire isn't on properly on your tire. That's why air keeps leaking out. Like this like gonna fucking fall off your rim. And she was like, oh shit, I gotta get that fixed. So we go to put on this other tire that she has. By the way, she's not even sure if this tire will fit on her truck. So we're sitting there trying to line it up. Joel's holding it like, and I was like, Joel, whatever you do, don't like, accidentally lean against the truck because it could fall on you and like fucking like just pin your elbow against the wheelbase. And he's like, okay, I got it. So we get it lined up, we get it put on there, and as I'm putting the tire on, I had asked Noel at some point, like, because she was like, do you want it? I'm selling it. And I was like, maybe, how much for? And she's like, oh, $12,000. And I was like, no, this is a 13-year-old vehicle. Like the most I would probably get for it is like $5,000, And I look up while we're screwing this on, and there's a bolt holding the handle, like not like a bolt for a car, but like a bolt for like a door or a washing machine, just holding the handle of the car in place. I said, "What's that, Noel?" And she said, "Oh, the handle was coming off the door, so my dad just like stuck a bolt in there to hold it into place." I was like, "Okay, $12,000, huh?" So we get the tire on.
Go ahead.
For a 2007 Yukon. Denali fully loaded, but oh my god. We get the tire back on, we drop the jack down, we start loading up everything in the truck, and I'm like, oh, I need my tire stops because it's all part of my jack kit. And we're trying to pull the tire stop off the back tire and it won't come. She's like, well, let me just pull the truck forward and I'll get it off. She goes to get in her truck and it won't start because the pump had drained her battery from using it without like the truck running. And I was like, okay, we'll just pull up and jump your truck off. So we pull my truck up to the side. We pop the hood and everything. And like it looks kind of weird, but I figured, it's a newer model. It's a 2007. So where I'm used to the battery being at on my truck's a 99. It might be like, just a little bit up further because it had a box with like a lightning bolt on it and a couple other things I didn't look at really closely. I just pulled my truck up and I was like, let's jump it off. Let's get ready to go. Because at this point, I was hot and tired. I just wanted to go sit down somewhere and all of us like hang out and talk. And I pull up and I get my jumper cables out and I'm like about to hook up this battery. Right? I'm like, it's go time. And I lift up this cover thing with the lightning bolt and all the stuff on it, and it's just fuses. It's all fuses with no hookups for a battery. And I'm like, Noel, where's your battery? And she's like, I don't know, actually. And right down from this box is like this empty hole with like a little like place where a battery should go, like a little table thing. And it said, Noelle, your car doesn't have a battery where it's supposed to have a battery. And she's like, what? And I was like, look, this is a GM product. I also have a GM product. The batteries are supposed to be in the bottom right corner of the engine if you're looking at the engine head on. Most of the time within those year models.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's weird. And we like look up, and in the top left corner, the battery's like underneath the hinge for the hood and like just like wedged kind of in there. And it's like, Noelle, who put your battery in? It's in the wrong spot. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, are you sure this battery like, works and it's supposed to be hooked up like this? And she's like, yeah, And I look at her and I go, $12,000, huh? So I have to drive my truck all the way around to the other side of her vehicle, which is like kind of difficult because she's got like a tree in between like the area that I was at. So I had to go around the tree and around the other side of the vehicle and pull up, and then we hook it up, and it starts right away.
$12,000, huh?
Yeah, but it has a DVD player, so that's something. Look at Joel. And the place where you put the spare tire is broken, so like there's no like area to put a spare tire. You just have to put it in the
The
trunk.
battery's in the wrong spot. The fuses are in the wrong spot. There's a bolt hole in the door handle.
Holding the door handle.
Holding the door handle.
The driver's side door makes an awful noise
The
whenever you try
driver's
to
side
close
door
it.
makes an awful
Because Joel
noise.
thought it was broken, he couldn't close it. And I just walked up and just pushed it really hard. That's how. No, look, it's supposed to be like that on your car, Kristen.
That's what she said. She said that's how my car is, but it's supposed to be like. You literally said what she said to her.
Yeah. But this isn't supposed to be like this. Somebody just, I don't know what the fuck they did. They like got in her engine and just was like
someone was like, I know how to mess with cars.
yeah, and just threw
Trying to like impress somebody probably, and was just like, watch
it's in
this.
such a weird spot for that kind of vehicle. Like it makes no sense. And I'm like, no.
I mean, is it obvious? Is like there a spot for the battery that wasn't being used? That was
yes. Like, because like you look down and there's like just this hole. Because when I first popped the hood, I noticed that there was a lot of room where the battery should be. But I just figured it's a newer model. They're making things more compact. Maybe I'm just being dumb. And Adrian was sitting there the whole time. It was like, wait, where's your battery? But she didn't say it because she said she didn't want to look dumb.
Oh my god. That sounds like Adrian.
Adrian was nervous because she was like, I don't want to like say something and it be wrong. And I was like, Adrian, you should have said something before I pulled my truck all the way up here for us to jump off her car.
I don't even know how. I don't even know how to respond. I don't understand what I don't. There's a story out there about what happened to this car. Someone was there for it. Someone can fill in blanks.
Well, there's also a dent in the hood too. There's a big ass dent in the
Really, the battery is what I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know who the fuck was like, this is the battery. The battery can go anywhere, right?
Yeah. There's also a thing with like the hood. They couldn't get the hood to open, and I just walked up and hit like a little lever, and it worked. Was that Noelle? Oh yeah, you had to push and like lift it. And she was like, "Yeah, $12,000."
For those of you that missed the most of that story, hashtag YouTube exclusive. Woo! Go to YouTube. It'll be YouTube episode 86. If you want to hear the rest of that, I don't even know how. It was amazing.
It was an odyssey.
It was a lot happened.
All that from trying to change a tire.
Like I've been in situations where, yeah, exactly there, like where you're trying to do one thing and you just end up doing 9 other things, and by the end you're like, I didn't finish what I set out to accomplish. I made more problems for myself. I realized more problems, and this whole day was not only wasted, but uncomfortable
And hot.
and hot
And sweaty.
and just straight up a loss of time, lost life
But she
today.
gave us free water.
W.
And I
guess.
forgot to mention the best part. Her dogs were amazing. Like she was like, oh, like I gotta close the gate for my dogs, like before I let my dogs out, and just opened the door and ran outside. And she closed the gate like before they could run out. But they were so excited. Like I let my tailgate down to get my tools that I needed to change the tire.
They just jumped in there.
Yeah, they just jumped in there and was like looking around, sniffing stuff. I opened the door to my truck. They like got in there. As soon as she opened the door to the Yukon to do something, like they jumped in there and she's like, oh, they just do whatever.
Noelle, by the way, is a fan of the podcast, which is so weird to say out loud, who watches it on YouTube. And it is so weird now having met somebody in real life that found us through the podcast.
Yeah.
That it feels...
But she's also pretty cool.
And she's... Yeah, I mean, she's...
Great to hang out with.
Yeah, she's awesome. But, I mean, like, it's crazy
Yeah.
that we started this thing, and all of a sudden, like, people know us for it now. We've met people because of it.
Yeah. People coming out of the woodwork.
It's one thing if I meet somebody, like, when I meet my friends online, you know, whenever I go see them at events and shit, like, we met playing video games, that's a little different, you know? It's like me and that person. This is you and me doing one thing and other people just watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people, like, knowing who we are because of
you
it.
didn't do the weather today.
I have it up. I was just
Oh,
waiting for
okay.
the story because you started the
That was
story.
a good warm-up story, though.
It was. The weather in Alger County, Michigan, is mostly clear, low 46. The wind is light and variable. 10% humidity, 1 mile per hour winds. Humidity was 91. Wait, I was wrong about the humidity. The humidity was 91%. I don't know what the 10% was. What is that? There's a weird little... I had to go to a different site because the county was not on Google Weather right away. It didn't just pull up the weather like it usually does. The moonrise will be at 5:48 a.m.
Today?
Yes. And the moon set will be at 8:50 p.m. in Michigan. I don't understand that.
I was about
What?
to say, that doesn't
That's
sound
like
right.
backwards,
Yeah. So no moon at night tonight, I guess. Just fucking sets and it's gone.
I guess. We'll see. Well, no, we won't. We're not in Alger County, Michigan.
I mean, that is Michigan, though. That's just Michigan for you.
Celsius? No, Fahrenheit.
Did I tell you about, like, how we met, me and Noelle?
How?
She came into Food Lion, and I was checking her out, and she's like, oh, I watch your podcast. I was like, what? This is, by the way, this is, like, around episode 40 or so. So this is, like, very early on. Because it was whenever I talked
How'd
about...
she find it?
I don't know. I guess, like, a friend of a friend's Facebook. Maybe, because my mom reblogs a lot, or retweets, or whatever, when it shares on Facebook.
Shares it like on Facebook?
Yeah, whenever, sometimes, not every episode, but she shares certain episodes, and I think she shared the one where it was talking about anxiety or something, or anorexia or something. It was one of the ones where I was telling a story about, like, dealing with something, like, in my own personal life, because she, like, mentioned it whenever we first, like, met.
Mm-hmm.
And then she added me on Facebook. And then she, like, found out my phone number through Facebook and was, like, texting me from it. And I was like, oh, that's cool and everything. How'd you get my phone number? And she was like, Facebook. Like, it's public information on Facebook. I was like, oh, I got to change that.
That's why I don't mess with Facebook. I just got back on Facebook literally to just message a guy from the game. Like, I'm gonna help him with his gym. Like, he wants to build promo videos for his gym. And I'm like, he wanted me to check out the group, like the Facebook for his gym. So I got back on, and just from signing on, the notifications are fucking ridiculous. I hate it. I hate it.
You get new friend suggestions.
The fact that no one responded to "Feed Me, Seymour," we did. You just
did.
weren't. You couldn't hear it. You said
Yeah.
that we were laggy. Makes
Yeah.
me sad. We did. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a
Jim
great
Black King says stalker. Much?
stalker. Much.
No, she's really cool. I think
Yeah, she's really
honestly, it was just a friendly thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I
she's
found it
like-
with the mindfulness tag. Twitch was drunk that day.
I mean, granted, she might end up being crazy and like kill us or whatever eventually, but we're not there yet. You know?
We're not there
Why
yet,
worry?
yeah. We gotta worry about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
As long as the journey's good, who cares if we get murdered by
Exactly.
a psychopath?
But you had a moment today that was like that.
Bro.
Tell that story.
Bro,
We both had interesting days, but like in different ways.
me and Kayla were leaving Monroe going
That's
to her
Kyle
house.
from the show, by the way.
Yes,
Just kinda-
or Chic Face in chat.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. And we were behind a Corvette in the countryside, like down literally a road, just us and the Corvette, and we're both kind of flying. Like the Corvette's going fast, we're going fast, and the Corvette starts to slow down really abruptly, really quickly, all at once, and we're like, "What the fuck?" And you know, Kayla, she gets mad at normal shit. She gets really bad road rage. She was straight up like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you stopping in the road?" And like as the car stops, the door opens real slow, and in my head, I was like, "Oh, we're dying. This is how we die. This guy's gonna get out and shoot us." Like that, because that's where my head goes to, like crazy serial killer, murder, crazy shit all the time, like that. Like in public, I'm like, "Oh, he's upset. He thinks we're like riding his ass, and he's just gonna get out and kill us." And there's nothing we can do. That's where my head was. He gets out. And he gets out slow. He gets out like one leg at a time, then kind of leans his head out and then pushes forward, and his right arm's on his side. And as he's turning, and I'm like, he gets his right hand and goes like go around us. And I just go like, "Oh, I thought we were going to die." And Kayla starts laughing. And she was like still mad at him for stopping randomly because he didn't have hazard lights on or anything. Nothing looked wrong. And we're both just sitting there like, "Dumb idiot, stupid bitch, not like no smoke happening, nothing wrong." And then we pass him, and he was saving a turtle. And we were both like, "Aw." We were both like, we went from like fiery hatred to like, "That guy's the best." Like in the span of like all of it in like fucking 20 seconds max. It was terrifying. So, bitches, thoughts? Hey, look, bitches ain't shit. We was chatting and vibes, about to get ready for bed. Charlie at the grocery store. "Sir, would you like paper or plastic?" Charlie's mind. "Oh, fuck, she's going to choke me with that bag." I mean, yeah, my mind's pretty crazy like that. I think everyone's trying to kill everyone all the time.
The
I'm about to
moral
go
of
to
the
bed.
story
Came
is-
here to harass Charlie. That's crazy, Tim. That's crazy. You're a bad mod. That's crazy. Hashtag bad mod. Go ahead.
The moral of the story is, and I think the greatest part of that story is, you guys went through some crazy character development in a matter of seconds.
Bro.
Based from the catalyst of that being a turtle. Which sounds like some haiku shit, but you know.
It is I, Matt. What did I say earlier I would say about Matt if he joined the stream?
That he had to take turmeric.
Turmeric. So that way he'll die. Shit on.
Wait, what did he say that she banned it?
I don't know. What did Luke say? Did you just time out? Enjoy your ban, fucking idiot. Did he say like ban him or something? That's a friend of ours.
Did read my message. Oh,
Did I not? Is it one up here?
True Black King said.
But let you. That's cool. Wait, hold on.
I think he's talking about the Noelle thing. Whenever she, like,
it's always a
found
bigger
me.
issue. I don't know.
What?
Sometimes True Black King says things and they do not translate well, and I don't know. I read the message.
I read something
I
he
read
said,
it.
and it looked very garbled.
It was hard to.
It was hard to understand.
It was
what
hard
he
to
trying
understand
say.
the like exactly what was being said.
Maybe that was the point.
I don't know.
Either way,
How dare he? Hey Tim, you want to join my cult of Matts? Also, I'm drinking like a mofo. Tell me about it. Also, I'm drinking whiskey. Tell me about your cult. God damn it, Apple whiskey for me. His cult is stupid. His name is Matt, and the cult is the Matts, and everyone who joins is just Matt.
yeah.
And you will
Oh,
get
Matt.
Matt identification numbers on your arms. Basically, this is just the Holocaust all over again. It's really scary.
The Matacost.
We're glad you asked. God damn it, Kristen.
Damn it.
Okay, so the cult's a bunch of us. We all get renamed to Matt. Wait. Yep. Charlie. What? Matt is inevitable. I kind of want to be a Matt. God damn it. I already ordered my t-shirt. What t-shirt? Basically, what I was trying to say is that she said she got your number off Facebook, and I was being funny, saying it's kind of like, we have to get your number off of Facebook, then it would have to be an issue that I'm saying is sometimes women do stuff to get away with that. A man can't do that at all. Yeah, that's definitely one of those things where, like, it's a little more innocent, from like an objective point of view.
Oh,
Like if a man did it to like a
You're talking about
woman,
the
it would
double
look.
standard.
Yeah, it's definitely a double standard.
yeah. I mean, we were talking about that the other day, though. You know.
Mercy. Hello, hello, Luke. Welcome back, bitch. If you misbehave, you get sent to Mattson camp. Oh my god. We will have a potluck at some point. Hi, Marina. Hi, Marina.
Hi, Murray.
Hey, Marina, you might get invited to a cult in a second. Just saying, Creighton being stalked is now canon. Okay, well, there you
I
go.
guess so.
Creighton is being stalked.
Do you want to hear a story from work that I think you'll enjoy?
Sure.
Okay, so there I was the other day,
There you were the other
taking
day.
a CBT, which is like computer-based training at my
Oh,
job.
okay.
It's fucking awful. Cause it's so boring.
Yeah.
So anyways, I was sitting there, and I'm listening to this video talking about shit that I already know about, like, you know, what to do during a fire, and all that kind. This video, by the way, is like fucking,
During a fire, you walk into the fire, right?
It's fucking 20 minutes long, and it's like common sense shit. Anyways, the narrator sounds familiar, and I'm like, why does this sound familiar?
I remember this.
And it's Snowball.
Are you positive?
Yes,
Did you look this
it's-
up?
I didn't look it up, but it's so similar. There's no way it's not. Or we
Hold
can look
on.
it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
Like who narrates?
Go ahead and say
CBT.
what you think, though.
So it's if any of you guys have seen Rick and Morty, what season is that? That's season 1. isn't it?
second episode.
So there's a character named Snowball. This is a dog that Rick gives super intelligence to. Is it Snowball or what was it?
His name is Snuffles, but he changes his name to Snowball because his fur is white and fluffy.
Yeah. And like he has a very unique voice. It's like smooth but like intelligent too. And anyways, like what he does is he upgrades his brain thing or his helmet thing that makes him very smart, so that way he's like super smart. And he can speak through like a speak and spell type of thing, and he makes a robot suit, which is
He said lasagna.
which is amazing. And he, like the same guy who voices him in Rick and Morty, sounded like the same guy who was narrating CBTs. Did you find out, by the way?
I am waiting for it to load.
What?
The IMDb page.
Oh, I got you.
There you go. Okay. He was born in Detroit, Michigan in 1956.
Snuffles. Did he voice one of the?
He voices. Oh my god, he has 521 credits.
I was about to say, does he voice? He voices
We're
one
not
of the
figuring
people
it
on
out.
the Animaniacs.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Yeah. Free my boy, like he ain't.
Pinky in the Brain. He's the voice of Pinky. He's
the voice of
Donatello from
Pinky.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's Carl from Jimmy Neutron and Carl's mom. He's in Avenging Justice, the TV movie that's been announced. He's in The Adventures of Pinocchio, Animaniacs, Salem, The Delivery Man, Knock, Samurai Jack, Battle Through Time, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja. I'm not reading 521 credits, but he's done a lot of shit.
So see if what's his name?
Rob Paulson.
All right. Well, let's see if Rob Paulson voiced any Food Lion CBTs.
You have fun figuring that part out. Free my boy Luke. He ain't do nothing.
How you spell his last name?
Removed. Paulsen or SON. Rob Paulson. Every time Creighton uses a Food Lion story, take a shot. Oh shit. Have fun. Turmeric.
But I've only told one Food Lion story today.
Turmeric. His name was Robert Paulson. Thank you, Marina. Marina, God, you're so smart.
Is he dead?
No, he's alive. He's only like
He's gotta be old.
60, 70, 80, 90, 06, 16. He's 64.
That's older.
Oh, it's not older. I think old is like 74 and above. I think that's when you become old.
It looks like there aren't any great matches for your search.
There you go.
And all I typed in was, did Rob Paulson narrate a Food Lion training video?
Question: could guys have harem? Like have a harem? I think technically, right? Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chris, are you trying to kill me? I mean, only if you're down. Hey, yo, Matt, how's the Rona? Bruh, Tim, It was the worst. I couldn't see nobody. He couldn't literally. He was blind for a week.
Who was?
Matt
From what?
from the Rona.
Oh,
When he had the Rona.
interesting.
Would you want to have a harem?
Would I want to have a harem? Yes. It's very profitable. You make a lot of money.
Oh, you mean like own a harem?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd own a harem.
Like,
I'd probably just own a brothel.
there was a
I feel like
way-
a brothel would make
if there
more.
was a way to do it where everybody is consenting and, you know what I mean, like, in a safe, like, you know, environment where nobody's getting taken advantage of, then yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think that, like, I think the rules on stuff like prostitution are a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think-
I get it, though, because, like, there are, like, even people who do it or have done it illegally talk about them getting taken advantage of a lot of the
Well,
time.
yeah, that's what I mean. If it was legal,
But, yeah,
there'd be
that's what I'm-
safeguards
yeah,
in place.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
Not as
the-
many women would get hurt
Yeah.
or be in as
Remember
much
when we had
danger.
or you and Quentin had that debate a lot whenever we go to
Bro,
Lansing.
me and Quentin, we had like 3 basketball games in a row where we were on camera on the headsets, and the whole time the basketball game was going on, our whole conversation was on prostitution, why it should be legal, and why we think so. Like just we had like
Well,
a fucking.
how would you guys run it?
It wasn't about us running it. It was just like the reasons, like the pros of it being legal, and like we were just weighing pros and cons like to ourselves. Me and Quentin, like Quentin's my best friend. I have talked to him about everything I could talk to him about now at this point. Like it's very hard to have a conversation that we don't have an idea of what the other's opinion is going to be already.
Yeah.
So every once in a while we find something and we're like, oh shit, we could talk about this. And like we were at that point where it was like, we've never talked about prostitution and how awesome it is and how it should be legal, and we just started having that conversation, and it was like, yep, this is what this is like.
So what do you think like the cons would be of it being legal?
Of it being legal?
Yeah.
Probably just a lot of people just blatantly going behind their partners' backs and stuff like that. I mean,
To do it or to
Yeah.
cheat on them?
to cheat, yeah, both. To cheat on them. I mean, you don't think that would happen? I mean, it
I
happens. It
mean-
happens anyway. But if there's a way where you can just go pay somebody, like
Well,
people are
isn't
gonna
that-
do it.
Isn't that how like strip clubs kind of walk that line? Because I mean, like,
Yeah,
there are like men who are married that go to strip clubs, but is it infidelity or is it like
it's definitely case by case based on the relationship of the man and his wife, probably.
yeah.
But again, I mean, going to a strip club is a lot different than going to a brothel.
Well, I've told you multiple times. I don't know if I've told you on here, but I want to go to the Dollhouse at Myrtle Beach because of the all-you-can-eat steak and eggs. You know.
I know.
So
You've
like,
told me that.
I mean, all I'm saying is I just want to go there for that.
Cons of what? That's not a con.
I don't even care like what
What do you
kind
mean
of
that's not a
strippers are
con?
going on.
Because it would happen anyway. At least that's this way they can mitigate STDs. Listen. Sure, it's gonna happen anyway, but it'll happen a lot more.
What, the STD thing?
No cheating on whoever. It becomes
I mean-
streamlined. It becomes easier. Look, people don't like. Okay, I'm gonna compare this to cocaine. If
Yeah.
cocaine was legal, less
Yes.
people would do cocaine.
Yeah. But like think about it like this.
But
There's
it's not the
already-
same with this.
There's a lot of relationships now, especially like people our age that have like open relationships and shit. like
Mhm.
that. Which I think on my like me personally, I couldn't do that. That's like
Yeah.
you know, I'm a one person kind of guy.
Monogamous.
Yeah, I'm monogamous, and like I've tried and I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's crazy. But I mean, like a lot of people our age like say it works for them. You know, and if it works for you, if that's your relationship, then by all means, more power to you. But like, do you think if it was legal and we're living in a society that will eventually, you know, become that where like relationships are more fluid? Like, do you
I
think
don't
it's
think
all
it
right?
will. I think it's all right regardless.
Yeah.
There's going to be pros
Well, I
and
mean,
cons
not
to
all,
everything.
but yeah.
I think overall, it's definitely healthier for everybody if it's a legal thing. I think that with that said, more people will cheat in a negative way if prostitution is legal because it's a lot easier to cheat that way.
Well, what about later on down the line when, like, you know, prostitution's been legal for a long time and doing it behind your wife's back isn't like, that crazy anymore. You know what I mean? Or
Well, I
like,
think it'll always be
you've
crazy
had-
to the wife. It probably won't be as crazy to the public. It won't be as
Or-
serious. Like, did you hear about Bobby cheating on his
Yeah.
wife with who?
Or-
A prostitute? Oh, whatever. Who
or
cares?
do you think it would be
It'll be like that.
one of those things where like I got to get my fix for this and the wife is okay with it?
Yeah, I
Or-
think that'll happen a lot too. That already happens.
Well,
a
that's
lot.
what I mean though. Like
there are
eventually
like couples who
it'll-
have like a person for that.
it'll go on down the line, and I feel like it won't be like a thing that's like as taboo anymore. And I think maybe eventually cheating that way won't completely go away, but become less of a thing. Because I feel like right in the beginning, it'll be this thing that's like really taboo and like, oh my god, like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta do this, I gotta get a taste of that. But like on down the line, as it becomes more normalized, I feel like it would be a thing that like people aren't doing to go and cheat on their spouse, because it's way more taboo to cheat on somebody they don't know about, and it's like you're not paying for it. Like you're having an affair with your secretary instead of like going down the road and paying like $50 or however much for an hour with somebody else.
Yeah, I mean,
Because cheating's like, I feel like if people are cheating because of like the what's it called, like the
lack of intimacy.
not the lack of intimacy, like the thrill of it, just the thrill of cheating, it's way more like thrilling from my perspective to cheat with somebody that you and your wife already know, but the wife doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that you guys are doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not experienced in that side of the relationship.
I'm not experienced either, but like, you look at these stories all the time.
I know
where
what you
people
mean.
are
I know what you
cheating.
mean. There's definitely like
Yeah.
I think that if anyone's cheating, there's just something wrong with the relationship.
Oh,
regardless,
yeah, absolutely.
obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
like someone's at fault every time. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not. This is simply one of the only cons I could come up with. The substance of the argument is that prostitution should be legal. I think, because it's gonna one. Could you imagine if they what's the word? God damn it! If they could. What's the word? They did it with weed.
Legalize tax.
Tax. Yes, but there's a word.
Um,
That isn't tax.
tax write-off. I mean,
God damn it.
taxation.
We'll just say tax. If they could tax it and have it actually be a thing that is what is
Revenue?
yes, but no, there's a word. I'm so mad. I know the word. Anyway, fuck it. If they could tax it and have
justify it?
it would boost so many economies.
Yeah,
It would boost so many economies.
I feel like
You know how many incel like gross 20-year-olds who just need it, who have never had it, would just become better people
Well,
just
isn't
from
it legal in some places. Like it's legal in Nevada.
well, it's legal in parts of Nevada.
Parts.
It's not
all
just
of
legal in Nevada.
but yeah.
Yes, and then also it's legal. I mean, there's countries where it's just straight up legal.
Mhm.
I mean,
Is France one of those?
I don't know. I know it's legal in there's a
Amsterdam.
is it Amsterdam?
It
I
might
think
be.
so. Let me double check. Let me check one.
I know weed is legal in Amsterdam. I'm pretty sure weed is legal in Amsterdam.
When I type in "is prostitution legal," it says in Canada, prostitution is legally defined by the Supreme Court of Canada as the exchange of. Okay, this exchange is now illegal in Canada.
Everything is legal in Amsterdam, says Mr. Ace.
Is prostitution
True Black King said, "Women use their emotion in sex. Men will use emotion on one woman, but won't get emotionally attached to another woman." I think that's part of something else he said too. You can see more of the chat than I can.
Prostitution in the Netherlands is legal and regulated. Regulated is the word I was
Yeah.
trying to say earlier. Operating a brothel is also legal. De Wallen, the largest and best-known red light district in Amsterdam, is a destination for international sex tourism. Damn.
It wasn't decriminalized, Matt.
There you go.
But take a shot for every time Matt said decriminalized, which is twice. But still, that's 2 shots. What did True Black King say? Because I didn't see all of his thing, but I saw he was saying a bunch of stuff.
I'm not gonna read it out loud. I think both sides can do both. True Black King. I don't think that's a. I don't think it's as cut and dry as that. A lot of dudes cheat for emotional reasons too. Yeah, exactly. Decriminalize. Nice shit. Everything is legal in Amsterdam. Weed is legal here in Vancouver. I have a couple joints and edibles with no problem.
Dang.
I mean, low key, weed's basically legal everywhere in America now. I mean, it's not technically, but it will be soon. Like, the fact that it isn't already federally legal in a lot of places that it isn't is weird to me.
What do you think the
But
age limit will be on that?
21.
21
Yeah.
or 18?
21. It's 21 where it's already legal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, smoking
Was
and
it
smoking
21?
has gone up to 21 everywhere anyway.
Was it 21
Vaping,
before,
smoking.
though?
No, it was 18 for normal smoking and for vaping, but now it's 21.
Well, I'm talking about for weed, though.
Weed, it was always
specifically.
21.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe. I'm pretty sure.
Good night, Brian. No.
Bree. That's Bree.
Bree.
Good night, Bree. Reels. Char reels? What the fuck?
I know what you're
Damn,
saying.
24.
But what I'm saying.
Wait,
is
what about
the
24?
majority is like that. It's only a few.
It should be 21.
It's only a few that's like, dude, cheap because. their
Wait, what do you mean
girlfriend's
24?
doing Good or the cheat is.
Nah, True Black King. I don't.
I mean,
I don't think it's a majority anything. I think that there's it's all very.
Well, I've heard
That's
that
a loaded
too.
statement.
It's a loaded statement, but I've heard that like, you know, because you see like all the time, and I don't know like if the like where guys will cheat on girls that aren't like as pretty as their actual girlfriend. You know what I mean? Or cheat with somebody who's not as pretty as their actual girlfriend. And a lot of times it's just like, you know, they weren't in love with the other girl anymore. They meet this new girl who's more emotionally fulfilling. You know, it's a whole thing, but there is a side.
Yeah, but
of that.
I don't think that. I
And
think yes, obviously, but I don't think that it is so cut and dry.
Oh yeah,
man,
I mean,
woman,
it's not
black
every
and white.
situation is like that, you know. But I mean, it
It
does.
should be
happen.
24 in your. Why? Well, maybe I don't know. I know it can affect brain development before a certain age. It's either 24 or 26.
I thought
What do you mean
25.
it is? It's not. Okay, yeah. Brain development is 25. Your brain finishes developing when you're 25, roughly.
Roughly.
But with that said, I mean, I still think 21 should be the age.
I think 18 should be the age, and we were talking
No,
about that earlier.
18.
No, look, and we had this whole debate about it because, like, if we've had me and you specifically have had this argument multiple times,
Mhm.
and it's like I think if you can vote at 18, and you can sign up for the military, like, why
If you were legally allowed to kill your kid when you turn 19, it doesn't mean you should go to smoke.
Same.
It's literally
That's
the
not
same.
The
No,
It's not
hold
the
on.
Same. Look,
Literally, in the way you're describing it, yes, it is. If I can do this when I'm 18, I should be able to do this when I'm 18.
I'm just saying you can.
That's all you're saying.
You can
That's
fight-
all. There's no correlation
you
to smoking
can
weed and voting.
Fight and die for your country, but you can't smoke or drink in it.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
not.
if
There's
you
no
can do
correlation
one,
there
you
other
should
than
be able to
age.
do the other.
Age is the only correlation.
Well,
There's
then that
no.
doesn't
There's no
make any
cause and
sense,
effect.
though. You know what I mean? You have other countries where it's legal by the age of 18. By
What
the
if?
age
What
of
if they? What
14
if all of a
even.
sudden they said you can't fight in war until you're 30? Would you say, okay, well, I guess that we shouldn't smoke and drink till we're 30?
I'd be fine with that. I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I
That's
mean?
not having your cake and eating it
That
too.
is having your cake
No,
and
it's
eating
not.
it too.
No,
Because
it's
you're like,
not.
oh, well, we're going to put your life at risk for your country, but like, we're also not going to let you smoke or be
You
able to
can't drink
in your
before you're 18. You can't drink before you're 21 because kids are idiots
We can
and make
draft- we can-
unrational decisions.
We can
and
draft you
and
at 18, but we can't let you.
You
smoke
can't
and drink.
draft you when you're 18. You can't
They
get drafted.
can,
There is no
though.
draft.
You sign up for a draft at 18. That's the whenever you turn 18.
That's
send
if
you-
they ever incite
send
the
you
draft
a
again. The draft
selective-
is not. Yes,
they send you a
I know.
selective service thing that you have to fill out. If you don't fill it out, it's illegal and they can arrest you for that.
Yes, I know, but there is no draft in America. Not anymore. The draft isn't
You
there.
don't
It's in
know
case.
that. It's
I
fucking
do know
2020,
that.
though. Like, what if something
It
breaks
can
out
change.
tomorrow and
Yes,
we all
yes.
get drafted? You know what I mean?
Yes, but first of
I
all,
just think it's dumb that
you can't.
Get,
There's
like,
not going to be a draft reinstated in a day. It's going to be a giant decision that takes months and months, years and years to figure out.
I mean, you say that now, but like you don't
That's
know what's
no.
gonna
That's how
happen
it
tomorrow.
works.
I get
That's how that
that's
process
how it works. But
they
what I'm
they
saying
got rid
is,
of the
like,
draft
you know,
after either World War II or Vietnam. It's been gone for decades.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's still possible for that to happen. It doesn't matter when or how long it takes. It's still possible for it to happen. And I feel like if your country can like draft you for a war, whether it's the next day or months from now, you should be able to smoke and drink too if you want to. Either that or up the age to 21 for signing up for that.
First of all, you're not signing up for the draft. You have to.
No, but you fill out selective services.
You have to fill out
That's what
selective
I'm
service.
saying.
Yes, I understand, but you're not signing up for the draft. There's no signing up for the draft. The draft, you just get drafted.
But that's
You
not
sign
the
up
point.
for service. Well, your point isn't making any
My
sense.
point does make sense. If you can get,
If I'm able to operate a vehicle, I should be able to smoke weed and drink alcohol. Like there's no correlation to what you're
that's
saying.
not the same thing.
It's literally the same thing
No, but
out
what
of
I'm saying is,
objectively. It's the same thing. You're talking about things that don't make it that aren't connected.
But what I'm saying is, like, the government says that, or is basically saying you're adult enough to make this decision for your life, as far as like voting and as far as like going into the military. But you're not old enough to make the decision whether you can smoke or drink or not. That's a mixed message to me. You know, I feel like if you're gonna have it one way with the smoking and drinking, you should have it that way for the voting and for the signing up for.
Well, when you're deciding
military.
whether you want to vote on somebody or not, you're making a decision with your unaffected brain, hopefully, about a person that might cause some big change in the world, sure, but it's not something that is changing the way you think and the way you walk around and the way you see things. You're talking about drugs. You're talking about things that
What
change the
difference
way
does
you
3
hear and
years
see and
make
think.
on that, though?
What?
3 years? What difference does 3 years
Brain
make?
development. We just talked
Your
about it.
brain doesn't develop that much in 3 years. You just said your brain doesn't finish developing until you're 25.
Creighton, your brain develops an enormous amount from the time you're 10 to the time you're 13. You go into adolescence. You don't make statements you don't understand.
I mean, I guess, but like at the
Your
same
brain
time,
changes
I
a
feel like-
remarkable amount in no time,
I feel
a bunch
like
of
if they're
times
really
throughout your
worried
life.
about that, why not just make it 25?
I agree. I don't think you should be able to do shit till you're 30,
I
but that's
think
just
that's
not
dumb.
what it is. What?
I think that's dumb.
Well, yeah, sure. I know.
And
That's
then the other side
that's
of it,
my opinion.
The other side of it is too, like, it makes it taboo. It makes people want to do it, and if they want to do it, they're gonna find a way to do it regardless of what the law is. So why not just make it like 18, so that way no longer
Because
is
there's
it
gonna
taboo.
be because
No
then there's
longer
gonna be a
is it
bunch
like,
of kids
you know-
that die, and there's gonna be people in
Is there
people-
though? I feel like that's just like you being paranoid about it. Kids are gonna die regardless because they're gonna find a way around it either way.
Yeah, but it's gonna be harder for them to do it the other way. And if they have parents
Is
who are
it?
watching, yes, I never
Is it?
smoked anything or drank anything.
You
All my
didn't
friends wanted me
want
to.
If you wanted to, you could have. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter about the law.
I didn't have any friends until I was fucking 20. I didn't know anybody. If I wanted to, sure, I probably could have. I didn't want to. A lot of people don't want to. A lot of people get peer pressured when they don't want to when they're young. That happens way more often than young kids who want to do it.
But they get peer pressure by people who are lured to it because of the taboo of it, because of it being like.
So
this
they get
thing
peer
that you're
pressured
not
anyway.
Supposed to do till you're 21.
What about women? What about girls who are hanging around older guys because they think it's cool and it is legal? You know, it's not legal until you're 25. Or, you know what? No. Let's say it's legal when you're 17 to smoke weed, to drink, whatever, and you don't want to, and you're a girl. If you're a young girl, but you're hanging out with like some 25-year-old dudes, and they want you to drink, but you don't want to, but they want to be cool in front of the guys.
I mean,
That's also a problem.
yeah, but
Children
but
are
they don't have
impressionable.
laws about that, though. You know what I mean?
You're saying you want them to be able to when they're 18.
Yes, because I feel like it'll first of all make it not taboo, and then it'll be like saying like you're responsible.
But
enough
then that
to
makes
be
it
making
easier
your
for
own
men. That makes it
decisions.
easier for men and women to attack younger men and women with alcohol to make things easier for them. To make decisions
but
not
they-
so hard.
But at that point, like at 18, if we're going by 18 being like the law,
Mm-hmm.
and you can vote and everything, and you can like go and sign up for the military, they're already saying that you're responsible enough and old enough for that to be a decision that you can make, and for you to be in that position where you could be peer pressured.
I think it's crazy that we're allowed to walk around in the road. Like, what are you saying? There's all kinds of different things that you're allowed to do at certain ages. There's no age limit on going into town and walking across the street. Fucking 4,000-pound metal monsters are driving around that could kill fucking anything but an
could,
elephant,
but I feel
and you're
like-
allowed to walk out in the street when you're 8 years old. You can walk across the street. unsupervised. No one's going to stop an 8-year-old from walking across the street if he looks like he's doing it well. Like none of these things you're saying with age correspond to fucking up your brain and fucking up the way you walk around and see things and move and make decisions. I mean, that's different. That's not the same. It's a totally different argument. You're just saying, I think you should do this because you can do this. It just doesn't make any. It's not a good argument at all.
If we trust people with more responsibility, that it'll make them less stupid.
I think if people would stop looking at their phones and read actual information and get educated, that will make them less stupid. You can not let young people do crazy shit and educate them on why, and they'll understand and be less stupid. There's ways around this. We're just a really, really lazy society, and no one wants to help each other.
I mean, like, I get it, but I feel like the best experience, like, the best way to learn something is experience it for yourself. I mean, look at...
So the best way to see if you should do like LSD this. Or not is to do LSD?
No. That's
or
not
to
what
do
I'm
heroin?
Saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, look at the past. You know, we used to trust kids, younger kids, with a lot more responsibility than we do now. I'm not saying we put them in factories or put them to work.
We literally did.
But I'm not saying we do that. But I'm saying, like, at some point, I feel like we put too much regulation on them, and now they're not being exposed at proper ages to things that they need to be exposed to in the real world.
That should be my decision. Why not? What do you mean, why not, Matt?
Why not what?
After all this, he said, the problem is that if the government regulates and sets the rules and they define adulthood as 18, then they should stick by that definition. If I'm an adult at 18, then it should be my decision. Why not?
He's a yeah.
Oh, I don't think so. Why not? Oh, I didn't even see what fair. I was reading Matt's thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because what is adulthood? I don't feel like an adult. I'm 24 years old. I don't feel like a fucking adult.
Everybody's different, and
I know everybody's different, but what is adulthood?
What I'm saying, there should be a time where it's like, hey, like, you need to grow the fuck up and actually, like, you know, realize this is the world we live in. This is what society does. This is the things that you have the options to do. It's your choice where you choose whether or not you choose to do those things. And I feel like that age should be 18. I mean, my great aunt and my great uncle were married, had kids, full-time jobs and everything by the time they were 16, which I'm not saying that that's the world we should live in now, but they were responsible. You know what I mean? They were very what's the word I'm looking for? Self-sustaining by the time before they were even into their 20s.
Self-sustaining. I mean, you know what self-sustaining means?
Not self-sustaining. It's
made.
Self-sufficient? Is that the word I'm looking for?
No, I mean
self-made. They were very fuck, I can't think of the word, but they were able to have like a life and kids and a house and jobs and everything.
That was normal back then.
I know that was normal back then, but like, I mean, like,
do you think that's a smart way to live?
I don't think it's a smart way to live, but I think it's a way that maybe we should get back to. Not at 16, but like, you know, around like 18, 19, 20.
Get married, know by the time you're 18 or 19 who you're going to be with.
Get married and having kids then, but I mean being able to be self-sufficient enough to do those things before you're 20.
I mean, I agree. They're trying to. Society wants you to. No one our age or younger wants to get a real job and do it right.
But we have these like
people are lazy,
limiting us though too. I feel like
in what way? What's limiting them? Pay?
Not pay, just not being exposed enough to the real world. Like you get basically coddled pretty much from the time you go to elementary school all the way up to senior year, depending on like where you're at in life and like what class you're in. And if you go out into the real world after 18, after being coddled all that time, you don't have the necessary life skills to survive. It's to me, it's just like when I hear parents saying that they want to send their kids to the good school instead of to the school with all the bad kids. It's not a difference in education necessarily. It's a difference in the people they're exposed to. And I feel like that's not the right way to look at it. Because no matter what school you're going to send them to, eventually they're going to be exposed to the bad kids or the people that, like, you know, could be a bad influence. But you have to trust in your kids to make the right decisions. And if they don't, then it's a learning curve for them.
I don't know. I mean, I would not trust this country to do anything like that right now or anytime soon. Like,
But I think
we
that's
are
what's
we are
wrong with
wounded for generations already, based on our generation, the generation directly above us, and the generations who are below us right now. I mean, it's a bunch of really soft people that are not going to be able to handle anything like that.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, you want them to not be soft, put them out into a real experience.
They're all getting real experiences, and their jobs are terrible. Our kids get a full degree from college, go out in the real world, get a job, get 3 roommates, and still barely scrape by nowadays. I mean, it's horrifying. I mean, it's because people look at it like, oh, the next generation will handle it. I mean, that's been every generation since World War II,
Yeah.
or at least since like Vietnam. I mean, it's like they don't give a fuck. I mean, we'll see. Some do, obviously, but the problem isn't just that. It's that people don't want to persevere and be like, okay, well, I guess we do have to figure out what we're about to fix. Everyone wants to assign blame. No one wants to decide what's the smart decision. Oh, I know. Maybe I won't underage drink and underage smoke and do these things that could affect my brain, and I'll start learning some shit. And then one day, whenever I've got some money in the bank and I've got a job and I don't have to worry about anything, I'll smoke a little pot, I'll get a little buzz, and I'll feel good. And I'll do that a little more regularly, and I'll have a good time in the older years of my life, where after I have, fulfilled the part of my life that makes me eligible to do that for years and years and years, instead of do it a whole bunch from the time I'm 15 to the time I'm 25, 30, and then just be fucking broke, stupid, not know what to do for the next 45 years and end up on the street. I'm not saying everyone that smokes or everyone that drinks young will end up on the street. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not an idiot. What I'm saying is that way more people who make it, like air quotes, make it, whatever your definition of making it is, they either got a huge break or they played it smart for a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some people that rode that line. I'm not saying that everyone did exactly what I'm doing. I'm not saying that everyone who failed did exactly what I'm saying people who are going to fail did. What I'm saying is there needs to be regulations in place that make sense. And the fact that you think that people should be able to drink and smoke because they're able to vote doesn't make sense. That is not a good justification for fucking up your brain. And the way that you walk and talk and breathe and think.
I'm not saying that because you can vote and everything, it means you're gonna fuck up your brain just
That's
by
not-
smoking, drink. But look,
That's not what I just said.
I know, I get that, but like what I'm saying is sort of like what Matt summarized earlier. The government's saying you're old enough at this age to vote and decide what you want to do with your life. In a way, because like they're
saying you can vote on who you think should be the president,
and because you can go out and fight for your country, right?
Sure.
That's deciding what you want to do what you're going to do for your life in a way, because some people make a whole career out of being in the military.
The reason it's 18 and going into the military is because when you're 18,
and
I'm trying to help you with
I
your
know.
own argument.
No.
18 to 21 until you're 30 is where your body is in its prime physical condition. If you get in the military after you are 21, you may already be too brittle or you might be at a point where your body isn't malleable enough to train to be eligible to fight in the military or not. That's a big reason that's a thing. It's because when you're a teenager, you can still fix your body up.
You can make decisions in government when you're 18. Because you can vote and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm saying because you can do those things, in a way, the government's saying you're old enough to make decisions in your life for yourself. And I think one of those decisions should be if you want to drink or smoke or not. I don't see why it has to be pushed all the way back 3 years later. And I get where you're coming from because of like you're worried about like how it's going to affect your body or your brain or whatever. But I feel like people knowing the information about
They don't know the information.
But they should be
Yeah,
educated
you're right. They
on
should
it.
be educated.
And then make that decision for themselves at 18.
But they're not going to. No one wants to know. If they wanted to know and they still wanted to drink, let me rephrase. If they wanted to drink, they're just going to drink. Doesn't matter if it's legal or not. They're not going to go figure it out. They're not going to go read up on it and be like, I wonder if drinking is good for me. Like they're not.
Why does it matter if it's at 21?
Because what?
No, but what I'm saying is like if they're going to find a way to do it anyway. Like why does it matter? On the other side of that, why does it matter if it's 21?
Because 16-year-olds are allowed to drive vehicles.
Well, I'm not saying it be legal at 16. I'm saying it should be legal at 18.
Creighton, if you can't understand what I just said, if you're allowed to drive a vehicle at 16 and you're allowed to drink at
Technically
18,
15.
Creighton, shut the fuck up. If you're allowed to drink when you're 18, that means you've been able to drive for years. That means for 3 years at the max, you've been allowed to drive. At least a year or two. Most people by 18 have been driving for a couple of years. And if you're suddenly allowed to drink, you're going to have people who think, one beer, that's not too bad. 3 beers later, they're going to be like, it's been like an hour since I drank. And some lightweight's going to think, I can make it home.
So,
And you're going to have a
but
lot
what's the
more
difference
dumb...
between that and like say you're 21, you've been driving for what's that? Fucking 6 years at this point, at the most.
experience, being alive longer, having made better
there's still
decisions.
people that make that decision though to drink
Yes,
and drive.
there are, but
There's
not nearly
always
as
gonna
many.
Be people that
It's
going to
be exponential, Creighton. For
I don't
every
believe that.
for every
though.
30-year-old idiot that decides drinking and driving is okay, there's going to be 20 fucking 18-year-olds that think they're going to get away with it.
I don't
Especially in a
believe
small
that,
town like
though.
this. Then you don't know enough 18-year-olds. They're dumb. 18-year-olds make
18-year-olds
crazy,
are
hasty
dumb,
decisions,
but I mean,
and they
that's
drink
a
and drive
decision
anyway.
I feel like that they should make for themselves. Oh wait, let's see.
Read the whole bit of the chat. Amazing conversation with... Wait, let me see. Where's my mouse?
If you do drugs.
Where is it? This doesn't explain why the drinking age in other countries are low. I'll go, but like I said, I'm cool with raising the age to 21, but it should be for military as well, because at 18, I'm held accountable for my actions. I'm no longer a
Exactly.
minor.
I get that too.
Yes, I agree. It's because they're more responsible. I don't know. If I fuck up, that shit sticks with me. So this stuff being illegal, being illegal, that I'm considered too young to consume, my life can be ruined for because I'm old enough to know that I shouldn't, is just hypocritical in my opinion.
Plus, look at other
you
countries
have
where
a
it's legal at a
connection,
younger
okay,
age.
things
You don't
get so
see
much
drinking
worse.
and driving accidents at a higher rate there.
But you also don't have populations like that of America in countries in Europe where the drinking and driving age is like that.
I mean,
There's no one there. It's countrysides, and people, I mean, there's definitely cities, but there's also not nearly as many numbers to deal with. You're
I
not
mean,
you're
I
not
get
talking about
that,
the
but
same.
I feel like that it's not going to be. I feel like it's not going to be as bad as you're saying it'll be. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure the numbers will go up for a little bit, but eventually they'll go back down.
Well, see, you saying that alone is like enough for you to never be able to run for public office. It's like the numbers will probably go up. A lot of people will die, but we'll get through it. That's like you saying that COVID, it's not the craziest thing in the world. A bunch of
feel
old people
like
will die,
it's
but
a-
it'll move through us and we'll be
I
okay.
feel like it's a necessary evil to get to a more responsible society.
That's not going to be a more responsible society. You're going to have a lot of young people get really dumb really quick because it's legal to drink.
Are we though? I mean, like, look at places where it's not. There's a pretty intelligent society.
Is there?
Look at isn't Britain it's young or Germany. Germany, for instance, the drinking age there I think is 14. Britain.
Well,
is
you got to be
17
careful
or
when you say
16.
drinking age. Drinking age being lowered in a lot of those places doesn't mean you can go to a bar and get a drink. It means you're allowed to drink at home with your family. And 21 is still the age of going out and illegally drinking in a lot of those places where it's younger at home.
So then
It's still a different thing because
so
you
then
can't leave and you can't drive.
So then that's a discrepancy. Then, like, do we want that 8? Do we want it where they can go into a bar, or do we want where they can drink from at home at 18? Like, what would you prefer in that situation?
I would prefer no one drinks
No,
until
I
their
get that.
brain is done developing.
But I mean,
You're
like,
asking me.
Well, I mean, like in the situation where it's one way or the other. Like you can you can go to a bar and drink at 18, or you can stay at home and drink when you're 18.
Definitely stay at home. I mean, there's no contest. Less danger can happen. You can't hurt as many people.
But you can. What's to stop you from being like, oh, I'm gonna get in my parents' car and drive, and they're too drunk to stop me?
I mean, nothing. But that's even worse if you're out in public because you're already out in public and there's other people there. You could grab the wrong car. You could drive immediately into traffic.
Or there's more
not
people
just a
there
tree
to
in your
stop you
neighborhood.
from driving and drinking because they realize you're 18 and you're dumb.
Both
And-
of those are lazy arguments, though, because you shouldn't be drinking when you're 18. Like, scientifically, biologically, you shouldn't be putting that into you.
Well, biologically, you shouldn't put yourself in the way of gunfire.
That's not the same thing at all.
Yeah, you still die just as fast from a bullet.
No, you
It's a
die a lot
different
faster from a bullet.
Okay, but you still die.
Yeah, we're all gonna die. But one thing is for a much bigger reason than the other. If you're going into a war, regardless of what the war is, it's because, unless you get drafted, it's because you're a patriot or you offered up to do it.
Or you financially had no other choice because capitalism.
No, there's a lot of other choices. People would rather just go into the military than do a lot of the other things that they could also do. That's a whole nother argument, though.
I was about to say, like, that we're getting... but, like, to stay on topic, like, I mean, I feel like there's just as much danger in either
I've
one.
listened to dozens of hours of conversation with very intelligent scientists and philosophers on drinking, smoking, on psychedelics, on things that your body needs, things your body reacts to. It's just... I'm not going to change this isn't going to be an opinion that is easily moved by me, because, I mean, I've heard the smartest people in the world talk about it and talk about why all these statistics are stupid and why, like, you can't judge what one country will do off another, especially European countries who all eat healthier, don't have as shitty food as us. Our food is loaded with chemicals that we shouldn't be putting in our body. Like, it's ridiculous as shit. The concoction of garbage that ends up in a person's body in America if they go out drinking, like, when it comes to the stuff they're drinking, the food they're eating, the shit they're breathing, like, you're just not... It's not the same argument.
Then,
you can't make the same argument.
Then why not, if you're going to go your way, the health way, like, you know, make the drinking age 25, but then you have to tighten down on all these other laws about what chemicals you can put in your food. And
you can't do that, though.
Why not?
Because then it's just a whole nother... You're just now you're just trying to fix the whole world.
No.
What I'm
just
saying,
like,
you're not going to tighten down on those things because companies aren't going to let you.
If you're doing one over...
It's all money.
Why not do both? And I get it's all money.
Because you can't do both.
But, like...
They're not the same. They're not connected.
Then why not lower it? Because you would make more money selling alcohol.
Because you wouldn't, really. Teenagers aren't making the same money adults are making.
But they're still going to spend it on alcohol. Every penny they're going to get, they're going to spend it on alcohol.
Yeah, but they could also spend it on toys. And who knows? Maybe those businesses that own, they're going to either spend it on video games or toys or things that could help with motor function, things that could help build a better society.
Maybe.
You want your society to be good. You want money to flow forever, not for 40 years. You want money to keep coming in forever and ever and ever, and that's how businesses that are 200 years old stay businesses for 200 years. That's another big reason there are regulations in place, because if we let 8-year-olds drink, no one will be alive anymore.
8-year-olds.
I know you're not saying, Creighton, you got to stop acting like I'm trying to put words in your mouth. I'm making other arguments.
Yeah. I like what True Black King said. He said basically he's saying American kids too damn dumb to be drinking at 18.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean,
I agree.
what I'm saying is we let them drink at 18, or we give them the option to. Maybe we can make them not dumb. Maybe we can make them smarter, because they'll have the choices and experiences and the tools to make a more responsible decision if they choose to. All I'm saying is, like, we give them the option.
So you're hoping that everyone just drinks at 18, understands what it does to them, and just understands and educates themselves.
At 18,
I know, but you're saying if they want to, they can drink regardless of any trauma they might go through. They'll figure it out, and they'll just educate themselves as they go.
Well, I'm saying
because they're 18 and they've had plenty of time to read up on it.
We should give them the freedom to learn for themselves.
Mm-hmm. When you were drinking, were you thinking, I wonder what this is doing to me and if this is a good idea the whole time, or were you just downing other shots because it was fun and you had a good buzz?
That was a different situation.
Oh, was it?
Yes. No, because, like, I was 20, by the way, when I first drank.
Uh-huh.
And that was more of a... I don't even know how to describe it. It was more of like, I'm going to try this because it feels weird not to try it. Or not feel weird not to try it. How do I put it? I'm going to try this because everybody else is trying it, and, like, you know.
Peer pressure.
Not really peer pressure. It's more like, why am I waiting to 18, or to 21, I mean, when nobody else seems to fucking care? It wasn't.
That's peer
'cause
pressure.
That's not peer pressure though, because nobody was like, "Here, drink this."
Peer
That
pressure
was
doesn't
cool.
mean they have to pressure you. It is you are surrounded by your peers and you're pressured to do something
I
because you
just
want to be
didn't-
like them.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. I was just like, I don't see the point in waiting anymore if they're like not waiting. You know what I mean? And they're okay. It's not even. It's not like hopping on the bandwagon. It's more like just.
Well, that's literally hopping on the bandwagon.
no,
That
but
definition,
it's
how
just
you
like-
put it, the reason you said you did it is literally
Well, I'm
hopping
just
on the
saying.
bandwagon.
It's more like, why am I waiting if they don't have to? You see what I'm saying? It's more like.
That's hopping on the bandwagon because they are
I mean,
supposed
not
to.
Really.
It's not about have
It's
to.
more like.
Because if
It's
they are
more
doing it
riding
underage,
the line of that, but it's more like me coming to my own decision about it because I didn't see the point in waiting anymore.
because of what they were doing.
I guess, but I mean,
That
that's
is
not
literally-
hopping on the bandwagon.
That's literally hopping on the band. Do you know what hopping on the bandwagon means? it
I
means
mean,
you're doing
would
what
you
everyone else
say-
is doing
would
because
you
they're
say
doing
it's
it.
hopping on the bandwagon if, like, hey, my other friends bought this game. No, wait, that's. Hold on.
That's hopping on the
No,
bandwagon.
it's not. Though,
if you want to
'cause
buy
it's
the
not
game and
like-
play with them because they're all playing it, that's hopping on the
No,
bandwagon.
no, it's not that. It's like, why am I waiting for a better version of this game to come out when the normal version is already there? If that makes sense. Like, say there's this really great game, right? And you're waiting for the Game of the Year edition that has all the DLC, all the functions, but the normal game's right there, and it looks really fun to play, so I'm going to play it.
I mean, yeah, you can just play it
But
again.
that's not hopping on a bandwagon. That's just, like going ahead and making a decision for yourself that you were waiting to make anyway.
It's definitely a different situation.
But that's what I mean. That's what it was like to me, because it wasn't like I see them doing it. I see how much fun they have. I'm gonna do it. It was more like, why am I waiting, thinking it's gonna be this great thing, when I can just go ahead and do it right here?
To be honest, some adults should not drink. Forget about age. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Look, if it was up to me, there just wouldn't be alcohol. I mean,
I tried that though, and it didn't end well.
No, I mean like it just wouldn't be a thing.
Oh, like it wouldn't exist.
Yeah, not like ban it
I'm
because
sure there would be
fucking
something else.
revolutions would happen if if we banned alcohol. Like that would be worse than like taking away our rights.
Yeah.
like look, you could have our rights. let's keep
Look,
our
I
alcohol.
stand by 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
You should fight for your country if you want to. You should drink if you want to, and you should own guns if you want to.
Okay. Well, with that,
And I bleed red, white, and blue.
God damn it.
And you should eat as many cheeseburgers as you want to.
Well, with that one, I think we're gonna wrap this up. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow? We'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
You get off normal time tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hold on. There we go.
Don't
We'll be
get
back
me
tomorrow?
started on guns in America.
Yeah, please, guys. I can only handle so much of his tomfoolery in one podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow night if you're all here, and if not, we'll see you when we see you. Love you guys.
Oh, and one more thing. You should
Oh.
worship who you want to as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.